Right. We barely can do some 2 minutes of comments each on this. So what's the point? The government must function, and it's money. There are global issues that have led to the economic shocks. You say that's not reality, we shouldn't take that?
Yeah, government must function, but it does not need to waste resources on doing so. The list of expenditure that Chairman Asedu Nketia highlighted shows clearly that this government is simply throwing our money away. They are wasting the money. In some instances, I dare say it is being squandered. It's being stolen under the guise of all manner of nebulous nomenclature. What exactly is operational enhancement expenses? What does it mean? And any time that you see that there's some opacity in meaning to anything that government says, you know that there's corruption going on.
So you seek explanation.
So why do we need to ask before it is explained? Why they've spoken about car tires and fuel and all that. That one is pretty clear. You can even question the amounts. But what exactly is operational? What operations were enhanced? And in what way? What were the outcomes? So you know that there's corruption right there that is being hidden under some fanciful technology.
And you see the blame on COVID and Russia, Ukraine.
You see something. Check around West Africa. Our neighbors, some of whom we had a stronger economy than before COVID struck. None of them are going through the suffering that we are going through. None of them has had to expropriate 82 billion Ghana cedis from domestic bondholders. None of them has their currency as destroyed as ours. None of them has debt close to what we have. None of them has debt to GDP ratio close to what we have. None of them has a sort of interest rates we have. None of them have the deficits we have. So it has nothing to do with COVID. What they did was that for them, COVID was an excuse to break the bank in order to win elections. And it is that effort to win elections at all costs that has brought us here. So they are only hiding behind the global crisis. If COVID was just an epidemic, then you could say that it was restricted to Ghana. But even Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Burkina Faso, these are countries that were relatively weaker than we are. They don't have the sort of economic crisis that we have. So I think that we should stop the COVID excuse. It makes no sense to trumpet an excuse that has been long discredited. If you like, take the figures. The whole of Sub-Saharan Africa, we have the worst economic outcomes. So COVID did not affect just Ghana. It affected every country in the world. And yet we have these outcomes. What we have had is that long before COVID struck, this government was off track. That is why the World Bank country director, Mr. Pierre Laporte, made the point that the economy was mismanaged long before COVID struck. By 2019, our deficits were going out of gear. Our debt had reached 70% of GDP already. Our currency had suffered about 13.9% depreciation. Indeed, the whole of last year, the first 10 months of last year, it depreciated by 54%. At the beginning of this year alone, first 3 months, it has gone down by 20%.
But the same institution has come to tell us that it was exogenous shocks.
No, it is the IMF.
That has led
to.
That's the IMF.
Yeah, the IMF does not have an interest in deepening our woes by engaging in commentary that further shows that the thing is bad. But the figures are clear. So but your debt has risen from 120 billion to 600 billion. What do you need?
If you listen to Johnson Asedu Nketia and the manner